如果你以为全联好市多可以买到很好的橄榄油，那么接下来看到的会完全颠覆你的想象。因为我发现真正顶级的特级初榨橄榄油根本不会出现在这些地方。在混乱的市场标签之中，我和理工大叔 Dr. Jen 从台湾飞到意大利，只是为了寻找真正有灵魂的特级初榨橄榄油。这支影片应该是台湾目前首支走进世界顶级橄榄油庄园的记录。我们被允许进入平常不对外公开的制造殿堂，近距离揭开一瓶顶级特级初榨橄榄油诞生的秘密，同时也向质量产制者提出市场上最常见的疑问：酸价越低，真的代表油品越好吗？没有过滤的橄榄油真的更天然吗？橄榄油喝起来又苦又呛，究竟是品质好还是品质差？上一集我们看到了每间庄园为了保留最新鲜的早摘橄榄果实，分分秒秒都在与时间赛跑，从采摘到装瓶6到8小时完成，一般大型工厂则要24到72小时，甚至更长的时间。采摘回来的果实经去叶清洗切碎之后，会进入一个非常关键的步骤——搅拌。这个过程看起来只是慢慢搅动橄榄果泥，但其实在这个地方，香气、多酚跟油脂开始重新结合。
Because the longer you stir, the more olive oil you will get.
Oh.
But the quality will decrease. Also, if you want to get more olive oil, you need to raise a little bit the temperature.
Oh, okay.
But raising the temperature, you makes the antioxidants fade away, so you reduce the quality.
Wow.
For us, it's a choice. For us, unfortunately, we decide to sacrifice quantity every time.
接下来，这些被释放出来的油脂才会透过离心系统被真正分离出来。目前顶级庄园多采用改良后的2项离心系统，几乎不加水，才能保留更多风味跟多酚抗氧化物质。
Which is called decanter. Inside there is a cylinder that works as a centrifuge. So it spins, and that's the moment we separate the waste from the olive oil. So we separate the waste, which is the water, the flesh, and the pits. So these are the olives pits.
So this will be spaced along with the oil, the water that is inside the statement, which is inside the center. It's 3,000 speed and basically separates the solid from the
过去许多大型的油厂采用的是3项离心系统，这种方式需要加入大量的水分来帮助分离。虽然效率很高，但呢，多酚也会随着这些水分大量的流失，而且会制造大量的废水。我们参访的顶级庄园选择使用更精致的离心技术，在保留风味跟营养的同时，减少对环境的负担。分离后剩下的橄榄果渣，甚至可以被再利用成为供暖的燃料。
These pieces of the olive seed that is a fantastic combustible. This is very powerful, very flammable. This is very good for combustible. And you don't make like pellet. It doesn't smell much.
Not.
And the other part, so flesh, skin, water, it goes under the ground where we have storage system. And then it's transported to the place where they make biogas.
This is a washing machine, wash the olives.
Oh, okay.
All the water that we use from washing the olives, we stock under the floor with a big box, and then use to the plants for irrigation. We try to not waste nothing.
Yeah.
对这些庄园产制者而言，制作橄榄油从来不只是生产一种食物，而是一种跟土地共存的工艺。顶级特级初榨橄榄油之所以珍贵， 不只是因为风味，更因为其中富含天然的抗氧化成分，例如多酚、维生素 E、多种抗氧化物质，还有许多植物油脂没有的天然活性成分，像是橄榄苦苷、橄榄醛、角鲨烯、植物固醇以及比例极高的单元不饱和脂肪酸。然而，被称为一体黄金的橄榄油其实非常脆弱，光线、温度跟氧气都会慢慢改变它的风味跟营养结构。每个庄园产制者都想尽办法把这些营养成分冻结在采收的瞬间，整个制程跟储存环境都必须被严格控制。这让我想起佛罗伦斯的乌菲兹美术馆，在这座收藏文艺复兴名作的美术馆里，专家必须精密地控制温度、湿度跟光线，因为任何一个微小的环境变化都有可能让画作中的色料产生不可逆的变质。在橄榄油的庄园里，职人们守护橄榄油的方式就像对艺术品一样，同样的严谨。在顶级庄园，他们不只在制程中守住品质，连封瓶这一步都做到极致。装瓶前注入氮气，隔绝氧气，搭配只出不进的瓶口设计，让开封后的氧化速度降到最低。因为真正的特级初榨橄榄油，从产地到餐桌，每一秒都在被守护。这不只是技术，而是一种选择。在产量、成本与品质之间，他们毫不犹豫，永远选择守护。这一瓶油也守护我们对真正食物的感知能力。
This is where we stock all the oil. So all these tanks are full of oil. Then the temperature inside the storage room is always at 16 Celsius. 16. Yes, that is the perfect storage tank. And then also there is no contact with light. It is inside the tank. So the three enemies of oil are heat, light, and oxygen are all removed. So this machine over here puts nitrogen gas inside the bottle. There will remain some air inside the bottle.
I see.
You remove the air
Okay.
by putting nitrogen
Because
inside.
nitrogen is heavy.
Yeah,
then
so
the air
oxygen goes out.
goes out. Okay.
You see from this little tube over here,
Yeah.
we put another little bit of extra nitrogen between the oil and the cork. So until you open the bottle for the first time, there's a little extra protection.
Yeah.
So this one, you see how they're made inside.
Yeah.
Now I cannot open it because it only opens when there's
Yeah.
a bottle. And this prevents the air from going inside. Of course, if you leave the bottle open, eventually the air will go.
Will go.
But it just prevents a lot of it from going inside.
Everything is in the dark. No light can go in the machine. Okay. And everything is with nitrogen gas. So oxygen is not in production. The three factors that destroy the quality of olive oil is light, heat, oxidation from the air. If you protect from these factors, you make an olive oil that is better grade and much more long lasting in time. Okay.
橄榄油的世界一直充满各种不同的说法，不论是在台湾还是意大利，都常会有人鼓励你选择未过滤的橄榄油。当细微的果肉在瓶中缓缓的漂浮，看起来似乎更天然，也让人觉得营养成分似乎更完整。在意大利的超市里，我们也的确看到了未过滤的橄榄油，但当我们走进顶级庄园询问真正的产制者时，得到的答案却完全不同。
So what happens if you don't filter the oil? Like the one in the picture over there, the oil that is all cloudy, not completely clear.
Crystal.
Exactly, not crystal clear.
Yeah.
So it's cloudy because inside there are a lot of very water, of seed, of skin, and this sediment would start to ferment inside the oil and to oxidate.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you don't filter it, you have a product that is good for 3, 4, 5 months. And then the change, the aroma, the taste, everything changes very, very fast. Okay, so it's not like the wine that the older the better. But if you keep the oil, if you filter and keep it well, you can maintain that freshness for a long time.
在最后过滤的这一个环节， 庄园产制者同样进行着一场残酷的减法。
So this is one filter, and we put one filter in between each panel, and the olive oil is pumped here, and so it's absorbed by all the filters. Fortunately, a lot of olive oil also gets stuck in here, and we can't recover it. We recycle this, but we can't recover the olive oil. Many mills prefer to use the water in this phase. At the same time, however, the water contains oxygen, so it's for the same reason it lose quality. So we prefer to use this system. We lose quantity, but it's the best way to preserve the quality.
为了换取油品极致的清澈跟稳定，庄园宁可让昂贵的橄榄油耗损在滤纸之间，在质跟量的十字路口毫无悬念做出选择，因为对他们而言，不够纯净的一体黄金没有资格装入瓶中。在台湾，不论卖油或买油，都很喜欢强调橄榄油的酸价。但你知道吗？欧盟的法规根本没有规定标签要标示酸价。酸价不是酸味，它代表的是橄榄果实在采收跟处理过程中受损的程度。当橄榄离开树枝，或是被虫咬、被挤压，果实里的酵素就会开始分解油脂，产生游离脂肪酸。酸价越低，代表果实越完整，也代表它更被快速的送进磨坊处理。在法规上，酸价其实是橄榄油的第一道守门员，只有酸价低于 0.8% 的油才能够被称为特级初榨橄榄油。吊诡的是，经过化学处理的精炼油可以做到非常低的酸价，甚至比很多真正的 EVOO 还低。因为精炼的过程会把游离脂肪酸去除，所以酸价可以被技术性降低。再加上酸价的数字其实是浮动的，出厂后酸价会随着油脂的氧化慢慢往上升。我这次去意大利的顶级庄园买的特级初榨橄榄油，没有一罐在瓶身标示酸价。在法规里，酸价 0.8% 是一个容许的边界，但在顶级庄园产制者的眼里，那其实只是一个非常平庸的数字。
The minimum of acidity is 0.8.
Yes.
Well, the maximum of acidity is 0.8. All our oils are between 0.08 and 0.2. So the acidity is much lower.
Yeah, much lower.
Okay? You can have a much higher acidity and still call it extra virgin. So already in between that there are better oils and worse oils.
Yeah.
The defects are not seen through the chemical analysis, like the acidity and those other things, but just by tasting and smelling the oil.
Our acidity is 0.1, 0.2 maximum. Means that the oil it's very fresh. This is a very important value too. Okay.
就像文艺复兴时期的建筑师，他们追求的不是墙没有倒就好，而是精准到微米的黄金比例。庄园产制者疯狂地将酸价压低到 0.1%， 不是为了应付法规，而是为了证明这瓶油的果实在采收一路到装瓶的过程是完美无瑕的。市场有些人迷信单一品种橄榄油，但对顶级的庄园而言，将不同品种的特级初榨橄榄油进行风味调配，才是真正考验制油师感官跟经验的功力。
Well, here the professionals are my uncle and his sister on my end. The morning after, they taste each batch that we produced. They blindly taste it. They give a grade, okay, and then based on that grade, they decide what to do. They just taste it, they give a 9, then they say, okay, this is the variety Olivastra, then a 9 is enough to be a rose. Okay, then it's rose. Or maybe they tasted it and they gave 7, and they say, okay, this is Olivastra, but it's not enough to be a rose. So what we can do, we can put it in the PGI Toscana. Okay? And when they blend it, they come here with a little, how do you call the one that you... And they just try different percentages with different oils. So they try, I don't know, a blend that has 60, 30, and 10 until they find what they look for.
普遍来说，很多人以为特级初榨橄榄油只要闻起来香香的，喝起来顺顺的，就是好油。但在专业的感官评测中，真正的特级初榨橄榄油必须同时具备草果香、苦味跟呛辣这3种正面特质。这些风味其实都来自橄榄果实中的天然多酚跟芳香物质。也正是因为如此，对许多顶级庄园来说，苦跟呛辣反而是一瓶好油的重要讯号。
It's called frangitore. Frangitore is very important because it's object to different setting. Some olives give more smell, less smell, but are more bitter or less bitter, more pungent. But you can get this flowery or this tasting sensation by this machine. In this area we got certain values of polyphenols. For example, in the south of Italy, this is a variety called Coratina that get more higher polyphenols than the other varieties in the world. We work the olives fresh and the right grade of maturation. We get these values and we not make some chemicals or other stuff to get some values more higher. If you use a very bitter and pungent oil that are so much bitter, so much pungent that okay, it's very very good for health. But
市场上的标签有时只是为了让一瓶油在市场上卖个好价钱。例如有些橄榄油包装上印着大大的意大利国旗，其实只是在意大利装瓶而已。真正顶级的特级初榨，许多决定品质的关键既无法被标示，甚至也没有预算可以标示。
with scientifically method, with no pesticide, for to get no have our trees contaminated from the others. Okay, for us it's very important. We rent these plants for other farmers and we work totally inorganic.
Okay.
Totally inorganic. But I certify only one organic product for market reason because certified organic is very expensive.
根据欧盟的定义，特级初榨橄榄油是直接从橄榄果实中透过纯粹的机械方式萃取而来，全程不经任何化学处理。同时，它还必须通过严格的感官评测，没有缺陷风味，酸价低于 0.8%。但对顶级的庄园级橄榄油而言，法规永远是最低门槛。
When we speak about extra virgin olive oil, it's a product category that is only allowing a physical extraction of the oil. I cannot use a solvent to take
suck
the
it
oil,
out.
but I cannot use after production a coloring, a refinement, a flavoring, no other tricks.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
This is what is legally
Legal.
allowed.
okay.
Then if you're telling me how much control there is on olive oil, I tell not enough and it will never be enough. If I just respect international legal parameter for making an olive oil, I cannot tell you I'm making a good olive oil.
Okay.
This is parameter designed for an industrial product, not for an artisan product. Our production standard is not depending on legal regulation. It's depending on a quality standard that we decide and we want to achieve.
在所有食用油脂中，橄榄油是人类研究最深入、分级最明确、被全球医学界广泛认可的健康油脂。全球超过15000篇的期刊文献都在探讨它对促进心血管与大脑健康有正面的影响。但这一切的健康红利都有一个残酷的前提，必须是一瓶真正高品质的特级初榨橄榄油。
50 years, I don't know how many studies there are about telling you how good the olive oil can be for your diet, why it's preventing some kind of diseases. But the point, if you don't speak about a high quality olive oil,
of course.
because in a poor quality olive oil, it's okay, you have vegetal fat, but vitamin, no, antioxidant, no. So where is the good part? Olive oil is one food that the more you taste it pleasing, and the more it would be good for your body. Okay, so it's important to select a good kind of olive oil because not all of them have the same ability in your diet. We are producing olive oil, antioxidant, polyphenol, 500, 600, 700 milligram per kilo. This is something I may call a medicine. If you buy an industrial olive oil, it's okay, it's an extra virgin olive oil, but antioxidant, you don't have it.
在我眼前这一桶50公升的特级初榨橄榄油，至少需要36棵橄榄树1整年的努力。只有在阳光、雨水与土地条件恰到好处的年份，没有虫害、没有盐雾，这样的油才得以诞生。在意大利，橄榄油从来不只是一种油脂，它更是一种生活方式。就像佛罗伦斯百花大教堂的圆顶，支撑着整座城市的天际线。这些庄园产制者传承数代的坚持，也支撑着人类对真实风味的最后防线。他们透过经验与记忆，用每一滴油向土地致敬，而这份坚持最终带给人们的是无法被取代的健康价值。下一集我们将带着这份价值走进厨房，庄园级的特级初榨橄榄油如何像文艺复兴画家最擅长的染皂技法，它不掩盖食材，却像一道光，让每一道料理瞬间苏醒。我是苏苏姐，过去20年推广无添加保养是我的主业，人生的下半场推广无添加的蔬食是我的志业。记得开启订阅小铃铛，订阅我的频道，或加入我的蔬食社群，我们一起学习对自己好、对地球也好的饮食方式。我们下次见喽，拜拜。